Oh, hey y'all, how y'all doing? They ended quicker than I thought. I thought I had a little more time. I thought I had a little bit more time. Let me finish it up, y'all. Let me finish up. I looked down at that. I had 15 seconds. I don't know where this camera popped up at. It had 15 seconds left. I don't know what had happened. I'm not okay. Hey y'all, how y'all doing on today? Y'all caught me putting some on these lips, child. Woo, child, like, what's up, Dina? How you doing? Apparently, I'm still trying to get myself together. How you doing, friend? You doing okay?
Listen, I'm doing mighty fine. I'm good. You was over there getting your lip gloss. I was over there pulling on my shirt then when I seen it pop up. I was like,
So we both over here trying to get ourselves together. Both of us trying to get our life. My God, today. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Y'all know why we here. We're here to unload. Let's unpack. Let's have the conversation. Let's do all the things. Now, baby, we may be a little controversial today. We gonna pull on y'all wigs, y'all lace fronts, your quick weaves and your sew ins, or even your natural twist out. Whatever you got going on, we may pull on it today. But before we get into that, let's have a good, quick house rule. Let's go over the house rules, okay? Y'all know what to do. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It's easy and it's free. That's all we need you guys to do. If you have not subscribed to either one of our channels, please stop what you're doing right now and go on over there and hit that subscribe button, okay? Hitting subscribe, liking our content, as well as jumping in the comments. Help us in the algorithm, and more people can come on over here and join in the conversation, okay? So, as you know, my girl, her channel is Journey with Dina. Go on over yonder, subscribe, and my channel is Deep Conversation with Sean, okay? So, subscribe to both channels, like, comment, share it out, do all the things, okay? One more thing. Let's get some more house rules, housekeeping things out the way. Let's do the church announcements. One more thing, okay? Y'all, we are coming to an end of season 1. We have 2 episodes left, okay? Our last show will be March 18th, and we will be going on a small little miniature, just a little tiny of a break. That's it. We won't be gone too long, but our last show for season 1 will be March 18th. So you will have time to catch up on all our past videos, okay? So if you're not following me, follow me. And you're following Dina, come on over here and follow me as well, you know. And if you're following me and not follow Dina, then you go over there and do the exact same thing and follow her, okay? So we are excited about what's going on, what is to come, and y'all let us know what y'all want us to tackle next, okay? Tell us some topics, tell us some conversations, tell us what you think. We can drop a poll on our community tab and we can go from there, okay? Shout out to Miss Angela Clark. She said, "Good evening, ladies. How are you, Miss Ma'am?" John L. Griffin II, baby, the whole government. Okay, all right. I hope nobody looking for John L. Griffin, because maybe he'll put the whole government over yonder. And he says a little behind the scenes actions. Okay, I thought I had a little more time. I had a little bit more time, but I didn't. So, Miss Dina, you laughing, girl. How you doing on today? How your day going?
girl, it was amazing. Then it went to good. So I'm gonna stay at good. I'm gonna be positive. I'm just gonna ride the wave. Modify and adjust. I'm riding the wave.
That's all we can do. That's it. That's it. So, okay. Friend, what is our icebreaker for today? Or do you just want to go on and jump in with the mess? Like, what we doing?
Well, I got a icebreaker for tonight. I don't know.
Icebreaker? What we got?
It's a little, maybe it might take over the whole conversation because I was talking to a friend last night and I was like, ooh, I don't know if that's going to be a topic or if that's an icebreaker, but we don't see what it's going to do.
Okay.
So the icebreaker was, so we was talking and we talked about, so you're on a date Which one would be worse to you? Your date doesn't pay for your food, or your date doesn't pray over the food?
Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna say worse for me will probably be that you didn't pay for this food. Because that you coming over here trying to scheme and scam me. No. That's just trying to scheme and scam. No, sir.
But so we came up with that because I've been on both ends, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had so my reaction wasn't as bad for the one who didn't pay for it,
Mm-hmm.
because when we went out, we had already was like, oh, we going Dutch. So it wasn't a date. But he was a guy that I used to date. So, I'm just getting better with myself and able to have a conversation with him. So I guess I can't really remember how we got there. So we went out to dinner. We're nowhere but Logan's, I think. Logan's, and he got his food, I got my food. So when the waitress came, she gave him the ticket. So, but we had already discussed this, and he was like, "No, give her. She paid for her own food." The waitress went off on him. Do you hear me? She talked so bad to him, and I'm just sitting there laughing. Oh, she went in.
So here's my thing. Because I'm guilty of this. I've eaten before and been like, oh, not a nail piece of crumb or nothing on this plate, right? So that's why I say I would rather the date to pay first over prayer, because I do think that sometimes there can be an innocent mistake. And just because you don't see me stop what I'm doing and, go into prayer doesn't mean that I didn't in my heart and in my mind be like, oh, Lord, forgive me. Lord, bless this food while I'm still listening to you talk. But if you ain't got no coins and you knew it was going somewhere, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, on that aspect, I see that, but mine was different. We were mutual that we were going to pay, so I have a problem with it. However, on the flip side, with the praying part, so if I'm on a date with a guy, I ain't saying you gotta just really come to Jesus and just have a whole sermon over the food. But for me, if we on a date, it like gets you extra points. It's like some little, as they used to say, some little cool tabs to check off that you gonna say, all right, you gonna take the initiative to pray over our food. So I
Okay.
went out with a guy, took me out for my birthday, and I was late. It was I couldn't help it because I was working and I got behind. I had to change clothes and all that kind of stuff. So by the time I got there, he had already gotten his salad. And so when I sat down and the food came, I was like, "So you not gonna pray over our food?" Everybody got to know Jesus for themselves.
Correct.
No, I was pissed.
Maybe okay. So, is it a thing that he didn't pay over y'all food, or is it a thing because he didn't pray? Period. Which
No,
one is it?
over our food. And I'm like,
Okay.
so you ain't gonna say the grace? He's like, no, everybody gotta know Jesus for themselves. And I was like, what?
Oh, that was his response.
Yes, that was his response. And I sat there, I was like, for real? So I sat there for a minute. Now the old Dina would have, oh, we finna tear up moon dance because this right here is unacceptable. Then he was like, well, why don't you go ahead and pray then? So I just swallowed and I went on, said the prayer. But the whole time I'm sitting here like, because here's the thing for me, if we're on a date, even entertaining the space of dating or whatever, like that's a thing for me. Like that didn't show me what I wanted to see as for in kind of leadership, or what I'm saying, taking that initiative to do that.
Right.
So that it may be small to some people, but it's not small to me, especially when you're dating for marriage and the man is supposed to be, the leader. You're supposed to, he's supposed to follow the order. So
So that was a turnout for you. That was like a don't worry about it.
it was it was a little that kind of did something to me. So we didn't we had a conversation about that because that bothered me. Because
Okay.
I'm like, if you that way on just saying a prayer over dinner, like what else would you not be willing that you're gonna expect me to do? It may be small to some, but baby, dating at this age, I'm dating to see for the long run. I'm looking and checking the boxes off. This ain't gonna work for me because if you're supposed to be the head and leadership, that's something that I look for. So we after that time, we didn't go out again for another year. This was my birthday again the following year. So we went out to dinner. The food came. I sat there. He was like, let me pray. Don't play with me, baby. A whole year later, don't play with me. Come on with it now. No, we're not doing
So
it.
I'm gonna say this. It could have been okay. This may be super deep for no reason, but I'm gonna go here. I do think that Christianity with most men may not be out open as women are, right? So it could have been not giving him any type of, grace or leeway or anything, but it could have been a thing of maybe he didn't know how to do it, or maybe I don't know.
Baby, you could have said, God bless the food.
I'm with Sunshine right. They need to pray and pay, okay? I need them to do both of.
They can do that too. But here's the thing, even with the paying, like I don't have a problem going out on a date if we consistently dating and you pay this time. Oh, I pay this time. I don't have a
I
problem
agree
with
with that. I agree with that.
paying, or if you pay for the food, if I got some cash, giving the tip, I don't mind contributing. I'm not the one that I feel like you should always take me out. You should always spend money on me. You should always do this, that, and the other, give the princess treatment. No, I
I
don't.
agree.
That's not my take on it. I feel
I
like
agree with that.
you do for
I
me, I do for you.
I do think that it's okay for you to be like, oh, I got it this time, just as an appreciation type thing. But I also think too, though, in the beginning, if this first date, second date, maybe even third date, I'm gonna need you to pull out that wallet, okay? And the reason why I'm saying that is because you are pursuing me, and you show interest in me and you want to take me out. I don't think it'll be fair unless, like you said, y'all made a decision to say, hey, let's kind of keep it a little neutral. You don't have to pay. We can go to a coffee shop. We can do whatever. Speaking of, what do you consider a good first date?
A good first date for me is it don't have to be fancy because listen, I'm a foodie, but I ain't gotta have a fancy food.
Yeah,
Somewhere that we can have conversation. A movies is not a good first date because
not
we
a good
can't
first
hear
date.
nothing we talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
A club
Eating
and a
here,
lounge is not a
no,
good.
no, not a good
Yep.
first date. Not
Nope.
now. If you having something and you want me to come and it's somewhere at a lounge or something like that, then I will come, but it's not a date. Because a
Yeah.
date is one-on-one, so we can collect the data.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yeah.
need to be able to hear you and the Lord, because I need to hear what the Lord telling me. The Lord telling me to get up, go home. This ain't it. So I don't think it should be a place that's gonna be noisy. You can even do like the paint things because you talking and paint as you're going, but somewhere that's kind of personal that y'all will
Yeah.
be in a space and kind of can hear with
I
what's
think
going
going on a coffee date, ice cream date, and here's why, because I think it takes off the pressure of let me look the part, let me, pull out all the bells and whistles. Because I think sometimes when you do that, you're getting so much of the representative that you it takes so much time for you to pull back all the layers to get the person. If you can do something that's kind of laid back, where both of you guys guards are down, I think you can have kind of, you can start, my personal opinion, you can start seeing that individual a little bit more. Not saying that people still won't put on their best behavior and do all of those things, but when you get suited and booted, you know, you do kind of turn into another, like, baby, I'm feeling myself, I'm fine,
Well,
makeup.
baby, I'm being that on every day, so that don't matter. Cause every time I'm coming out the house, baby, I'm coming out the house like, where am I going? Who am I gonna see? I don't like when we talked about going to the game. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna be cute at the game.
yeah.
I'm just
But
sorry.
I think a little coffee date or, you know, ice cream date, you know, where it's just super chilled, super laid back. It ain't over the top where you feel like you just got to bust, you know, your wallet wide open just to impress somebody, you know,
Right.
because, and the reason why I'm saying it is because if it goes the way both of y'all are intended it to go, y'all got plenty of time for that. And
Mm-hmm.
if you start so high up, what do y'all have to look forward to?
Right.
If you're starting right here at the top, what do y'all have to look forward to for birthday? What do y'all have to look forward to for anniversaries? For and I'm not saying go to McDonald's and Wendy's and get you a four for four. I ain't
Now,
saying that.
baby. No, no, man, we're not never ever going to
I'm,
McDonald's or Wendy's or churches. No, we're not doing
I'm not saying do that, but I am saying, you know, sometimes when you start so high up, it's like, where do you go from here? And then I do think that for women who don't have the best interest, sometimes, you know, once you start that, you can't come down from that. And men are struggling to keep up a facade that they probably never had to begin with. We talked about this show the last time, which was Girlfriends. And you remember when Todd and Tony got married, and you know, she was like, "Hey, I'm ready for us to, you know, move into us a place. My townhouse is get a condo, whatever she was in, is too small, blah blah blah." And he was like, "Oh, I don't think that we can move right now." And
it.
because she ready for a 2.5 plus whatever $1 million house, and she want to be over have her second home, like she got all these dreams. And Ty like, we can't afford that. So she's like, what are you talking about? And he tells her, then I was doing all of this just so I can keep up with you because I knew you liked those things. But he never really had it. Now, Ty wasn't broke, but he won NFL, Bill Gates rich either, like what she thought that she was getting.
That's what she get because she thought that she was getting some money. She didn't do her homework
And
on
neither
top.
one of them had the conversations. I agree because neither one of them had the conversations. But where I'm going with that is because when you start so high, well, how is it that you? What is our most expensive restaurant here in Memphis? Porch and Parlor, maybe.
Don't call me back.
What else? Whoever, right? If you're starting up here, Porch and Parlor, Porch and Parlor, Porch and Parlor every time, and you're going to every restaurant you're going to is always on that level, when it's time for you to come down to reality, maybe your friend gonna be like, now we at Bahama Breeze. Now we with the comment, folks.
Well, now I will say this now. Everybody ain't on that level where they gotta come down now. Some people are
Now
on
that
that
is true.
level where they can eat at Porch and Parlor, Ruth Chris, Fleming's, this, that, and the other. And you on the other hand, like, cause I went out before and we done went to the season 52 and baby, no, you can take me to Firebirds to give me a steak. I don't need all that. That's don't do that. I don't need all that, but that depends on the level of the person that you're talking to. Because some people can already be up around this level and that's where they want to stay now.
And that is very well, very much and true. So I'm not knocking that at all. I don't knock that. Let me read some of the comments, baby, because I ain't saying nothing. So sunshine rays, okay? Said I agree with that. If you are really dating for a while, you can switch roles and play. Also comes back and said a good first date is good conversation, a nice place to eat. You can tell from how the conversation is going if you would like to go on a second date. Like it's not in there, but for whatever reason, I added it in there. Okay. And then the last one said, I am enjoying this conversation. Shout out to Sunshine Rays. Let's go and turn this conversation up a notch, okay? And let's go and get into the nitty gritty of why we are here, which is consider this. You might be the problem. You just might be the problem. Now, let me say this. This conversation is only for the mature, the adult. If you are having a very much still a immature mindset, personality, yes, you know better get in this camera. If you she know better. I don't know why she did that. But if you are there, you may not be ready for this, but just bookmark it and come back when you can have a little piece of humble pie and take it. Now, here's the thing. You know, I always incorporate Bible scriptures in our conversation. And one of the things that I do want to start off by having this conversation is one of my favorite Bible verses is that, you know, you cannot talk about the plank in somebody else's eye when you have a log yourself. And I probably worded it wrong, but y'all know where y'all can find it in. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And the reason why I brought that up is because sometimes it is so easy to point the finger at this one, that one, and the others. But it's very rare that we take our mirror and reverse it and put it on ourselves to see where we could be. If everybody is leaving you in friendship, you might be the problem. If everybody is leaving you in relationship, you might be the problem. You know, I'm not going to include marriage because we're supposed to be in this thing for the long haul and it's covenants, okay? But as far as friendship and relationships, sometimes I do think it is okay for us to take a step back and be like, wait, let me examine myself instead of always saying how everybody else is wrong and how they did this and they that, and we never stop to take inventory on ourselves. I'm stopping, I'm pausing. Dina, what you got?
I agree. And like you said, it takes a mature person to say, could I be wrong? Am I the problem? But that's what those sisters, that circle comes from, of your friends or one or two friends that will hold you accountable to what it is. And like I said earlier on live, like even with the reality shows and stuff, a lot of people don't like to take accountability of themselves. It's always, well, she did this and they did this and whatever the problem is or how they reacted. But the older you get, you learn that every action doesn't require a reaction.
Amen.
And it takes you to learn and grow to that point where, like, when people, like I said, always irk you about stuff that they're doing, well, why don't you try a different approach? You could be irking them just as well as they irking you, and kind of work on yourself. Like, what is it that I need to change, Lord? Show me myself. And we always, like you said, can point out what other people are doing, but have we did self-inventory on ourselves? I know for myself, I have come a long way. I can tell you about Dina 2.0 was not nice. And I had the attitude where I didn't care if you like what I said, what I did, or whatever. You can either take it or leave it. It didn't make me no difference. However, my friends told me that, and they was like, you think you could just say whatever you want to say? I'm like, well, I can. So you need to say what you want to say and get it off your mind. Because I was that person that you're going to know what I'm trying to say or how I felt about what you did. Now, granted, I still could have told them that, but the way I chose to do it could have been another way. So years later, I see that now. I was like you said about I was like, I was the toxic one, you know, because we go back and forth, because I'm gonna get the last word. We're gonna go back and forth, but it took years of growing, and like you said, people was like my friend, he used to always tell me, I'm the only friend you got. You know nobody else like you. I said, I don't care, but you ain't my only friend. I got friends. He's like, no. Even my old manager used to tell me that, you ain't got no
Mhm.
friends. I'm your only friends. I'm like, I got friends. But you know how far to go with your friends. They weren't gonna beat me up or none, but they'll tell me about myself. But then I still keep on going. But thank the Lord that I have gotten so much better. And with age comes different things. So you should want to do better and not always blame other people and take a step back and say, well, let me see what is it I'm doing wrong. Let me call Sean. Let
Mhm.
me tell you about this situation. So I can call, like, me and my best friend was talking to her and even her husband, and we was talking about some situation. And she was like, well, maybe you offended them and you didn't know you offended them. And I was like, what?
Mhm.
I ain't said nothing to offend them. So why would they not talk to me about this, that, and the other? I ain't did nothing to them because in my mind, I
Mhm.
ain't did nothing. But you don't know what you can say or even the reactions or action that you do that can offend somebody else. And it didn't offend or affect you, but it offended them. So
Right.
I thought about that a couple of days and I was like, you know what, maybe I did. And I said something that I didn't think nothing about it. So
Mhm.
it takes a very big person to
You
go
do.
back. And I pulled him to the side. I was like, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? He's like, I don't know what has happened between us,
Mhm.
but have I offended you in any kind of way? If I have offended you, I apologize because I
Right.
didn't know whatever it is. And then this is my thing. If somebody tell you that you offended them, please don't apologize and say, well, if I offended you, I just told you you
You
offended.
offended me. Mhm.
If, because I told you you offended me, start off by saying, well, I apologize for offending you.
Mhm.
That was not what I was intended to do. And
Mhm.
sometimes it can be something very small, but when you don't address it, then not even saying in that moment, but when you don't address it and it grows and
Yeah.
festers, it turns into something so big that you
Mhm.
have just pulled them to the side, have a conversation, move on.
You know what? I don't know if you heard of a lady. I think her name is Sharita Lyons, and I hope I'm not butchering her name. But I was listening to her when she was one of the panelists for X24 with Megan and Jackie Hill Perry. And I was listening to it. This was back in last year, whatever it was. Anyway, so she made a good point, and she was like, just like you can, you know, have reasonings for not liking somebody, don't think so highly of yourself that nobody can't turn around and have a list of things about you as well. And I think sometimes when you're put on a pedestal a lot and people, pacify you and, well, don't say this to Dina because, and, don't bring up this and don't say this, you're pacified all the time that it's hard for people to correct you on something, or it's hard for people to say, hey, you're wrong in this. And sometimes I think that's where victim mentality come in at, because if a traumatic situation happened to me, you know, most people are going to be on your side and be like, oh, Dina just, broke her leg, and this, that, and the third. So we're going to rally around Dina, but Dina has been a butt during this entire time. But
Mhm.
because she's going through a hardship, people kind of be like, all right, I'm gonna let her have it because she is going through some things. And that don't give people room to be mean, rude, toxic, and all the things because you went through a traumatic situation. And
Mhm.
then I think that's how victim mentality is grown, because let me not say anything to her because she went through this or she's going through this and all the things, and you're being mean and nasty in the process.
Mhm.
And then when people walk away and then don't want to be with you anymore or hang with you or be your friend or whatever the case may be, now it's turned into oh, I don't have no real friends and y'all kicking me when I'm down. And now we back at that victim mentality. And that's why we go back to the point of, but you may be the problem though. You so caught up in your own world, in your mess, that you're not even realizing how you're coming off to other people. You know, you could be going through something and still be nice at the same time. You know,
Right.
it's possible.
Right.
It's a thing. How about you try? You know, like there's no reason for you to be this and then, because when you're going through something, now you ain't got nobody to talk to. Now
Right.
you ain't got nobody to lean on. Now you don't have anybody to go and do coffee with. You know, you don't have anybody to go to the movies with because you've been so nasty and mean that you losing people left and right.
Right.
You might be the problem. You know, and it takes a big person to stop and say, I might be the problem. So I always give a transparent moment. Let me give a transparent moment myself. I am the blunt one in my friend group, right? I'm going to say it. I'm going to say the hard things. I'm going to say what people are thinking. But I was also the one who also said it very condescending, maybe nice, nasty, and all the things. And I had to learn about, you know, it ain't always, you know, the old saying that people say, it ain't always what you said,
How
it
you
was
say it?
how you said it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in that moment or whatever situation, guess what? I was the problem. Now, my delivery was probably wrong. I ain't gonna say probably. My delivery was wrong. My wording was wrong. Timing couldn't have been wrong. All the things are wrong. But because I'm writing what I'm saying, I feel like I ain't the problem because you the one who doing X, Y, and Z. So I had to turn the mirror on myself, but I also feel like that comes with growth. And I also feel like that comes with a deeper relationship with God because He will
Mm-hmm.
start pruning your heart and start
Mm-hmm.
telling you, hey, you need to have a softer tone when you talk.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
you need to start, you know, listening more versus talking so much. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's okay to just be the person who listen. It's okay just to be you know, but I think that comes with relationship with God. And like you said, having people around you.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you ever get to the point to where you're above reproach and can't nobody tell you nothing, you're in a bad spot. Where do you go from here? What does growth look like to you?
Mm-hmm.
My
Mm-hmm.
late pastor, he's passed away. One of my favorite sayings he always said is the biggest room in the world is the room of improvement. Like we can always be a better person. We can always do better. There's always room to be better.
Always.
That's the biggest room in the world is the room of improvement. We can always improve ourselves. And you know, I just do think that sometimes, you know, we're going to have to stop, turn the mirror on ourselves and start pruning out some of the things and be like, okay, then I've been talking. What you got? I'm going to go through
I,
some of the comments.
I'm amen with you because, like you said, it comes with a closer relationship with God, and sometimes you can say something, and I've been guilty of this myself. And I would say something to somebody, and then I feel bad. I was like, "Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that. I wonder did I offend her. Oh, I shouldn't have
Mm-hmm.
said that." And then in my mind, it keep playing back. So I pick up the phone and call and say, "Well, you know, Sean, when I said this, I didn't mean nothing by it." And they may be like, "What? I wasn't even thinking nothing
Mm-hmm.
about that." But it's like the Lord brings more back to you where you get convicted.
I
That's
was
what
just
I'm saying.
about to say
You
that. I
get
was just about
convicted
to
of
say
some
that.
things, and it's up to you to go back and correct it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And when the Lord brings it to you to convict you, I know you might don't want to call, you don't want to correct it, but obedience is better than
And then
sacrifice.
sacrifice. Yep.
So just go on ahead, send them a
Mm-hmm.
text, give them a call, and straighten it up on your end. So if
Yep.
it's anything that was tied up or whatever, then everything will be on loose because you did what you were supposed to do.
Yep. I agree.
Cause it's gonna keep coming back in your head, like you know what, that wasn't right. I wanted to was she offended. I'm thinking about this all night. I'm gonna call her first thing in the morning and correct it.
Mhm. Yep. I agree. Let me read this comment. It says, I ended my friendship with my best friend of 30, wow, plus
Wow.
years due to her not taking responsibility for her actions. Wow, that is a long time to end a relationship. Oh wow, how are you coping with that? If you feel like or want to divulge that information, I wonder how you coping with that, because 30 plus years is a very long time to end a relationship. But I will say this, and we spoke on this a little bit last week and a couple of episodes ago too, is sometimes that we see the red flags and we think it's a carnival, and we're
Mhm.
not taking heed to
Mhm.
the red flags. And red flags show up everywhere, on your job, in your relationship, in your friendship. Even before we get to the point of marriage, the red flags are there. And sometimes we hold on to people that was meant to be a season, and we made them a lifetime. And they weren't meant to be in our life for that. They were only meant to be there for a season, to teach us a lesson, to show us something, for us to learn from something. It could be anything, but wow, 30 years is wow. Kia said some people think that it's okay to butcher others' feelings, but when the shoes are turned, you are trashing their character and disrespectful. You know
Mhm.
what? That is a lot of things that I see. And speaking of the reality world, mess, they do a lot of that. Where they call each other friends and all the things. And the minute that like she say, the shoe was on the other foot. Now you ready to go talk about them, but they didn't do you like that.
Right, right, right.
So, but because your ego is bruised,
Mhm.
now your feelings hurt. So now you want to pull out our skeletons in they closet. Then we have another one from John. He says, so how do you handle a friend who refused to see it with a mature perspective? Oh, that is a great question. So my personal opinion is the best way to get at somebody is God. Baby, I'm gonna go to my daddy. Daddy God, let me tell you something. I'm gonna use John just because his name up here. John is being mean to me. Now I love John. And I don't want John and our relationship to end. But let me tell you something, Lord. Fix this. Because some things are kind of, it's going to take God to fix it. It's just some things that we just cannot do with our own validity, right?
Mhm.
It's really it's just going to have to take God to prune and soften their heart and see things differently. But even outside of that, I would go and have the conversation. I think we lack that one important thing,
Right,
which
right.
is conversing.
Mhm.
Have
Mhm.
the conversation. If we type like that, I should be able to go to Dina and be like, hey, so about yesterday,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
embarrassed me in front of everybody. I told you this in secret, or whatever the situation may be. Why would you, do that? I think that's where conversation come in at, and we
Right.
don't have conversations anymore.
Mhm.
We create this narrative in our head that the devil whispering in our ear. Let's be honest. And we got this whole narrative. We don't wrote book 1, 2, and 3. Now we're working on the movie and we're working on the play and we're doing all of these things, and it's not even that far gone. Have a conversation. Dina, what's your advice? What's your
I
thoughts?
I agree. Like you said, we don't have those conversations because first of all, if we are friends, because I'm learning not to use that word loosely. If we are
Mm-hmm.
friends, I feel like we should be on the level where we can have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about, like you say, your tone, your timing, and your delivery. And I've even had to bring some stuff back to friends, family, or whatever. And I will start off with, I think that we are we have a strong enough relationship or friendship that I should be able to come to you. So I
Mm-hmm.
want to address something that made me feel a certain type of way. Now,
Mm-hmm.
it's up to you how you give me your reaction. So if you
Mm-hmm.
give me a reaction where you want to push back and you don't want to take accountability for whatever it is, then in my mind, we're really not friends like I thought we was. So
Yeah.
excuse me for thinking that we were friends.
Mm-hmm.
So now I got to put you in a different box and a different category because what I'm not going to do is go back and forth with you and it's not going to have a resolve because
Yeah.
that's going to make our relationship even worse than it is. So, you know what? If I've had the conversation with you and we can't come to a mature understanding, then it's time for us to step away from whatever that is and take a break and let's see if we can come back later on and see if this friendship is worth moving forward. Because at this point in our life, we don't have time for that
Right.
at
I
all.
agree. Let me
No.
say this. Let me say this because we hear the word offend a lot. And sometimes we use offense as a way to be sensitive about everything. Every time somebody says something to you, it should not be taken with offense.
Mm-hmm.
There are times where people gonna have to have the hard conversation with me, with you, with other people, and we can't be offended by everything. Every
Mm-hmm.
time we're offended, we're building up a wall to where we cannot grow. Now, there will be times where you be like, what?
Yeah.
You know, but if we keep using that word offense a lot, I think it hinders us as a person and as for growth because we're depending on offense as why I can't move on past this because Dina offended me. And Dina said, and I'm just offended. And you know, if we keep holding on to that word offense, you'll never grow. You'll never move past, you'll never do anything. Everything is not going to be cookie cutter, perfect, pretty, sunshine, and flowers. When Jesus was on this earth for 33 years, he said some things that offended some people. The people
Mm-hmm.
was mad at Jesus, which led to his death. The people was mad at him. He offended a lot of people. But in that, it can't be that I got to hold your hand every time we go somewhere.
Right.
Even babies get off milk. They go to eating solid foods. They not crawling and sitting in their mama's arms all their life. You know, they grow. And that's how we have to look at our relationship, especially when we're dealing with people and in Christ, because God may do some things that's gonna offend you too. You have to get it together, whip it up, get it together. Because this can be something that can put you in a direction and the path that you need to go on. But if we
Mm-hmm.
keep holding on to offense so much, I think it lacks opportunity for us to be able to grow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I agree. I agree.
That's just my opinion, but I'm not saying that offense isn't a thing. I don't want nobody to be like, that offense is a thing. I
Yeah, because
understand.
I've been offended a lot this year.
Yeah, offense is a thing. Don't get me wrong, but I do think that people hold on to it so tight that they're turning a blind eye to where they could probably grow from that and open up to be able to have the conversations. But there's that. Oh, John came back. Oh, I forgot one. Sorry. She said that I am coping well now. I ended it in 2022, but if she were to need me for anything, I will be there. She had a hard time opening up and she expected loyalty from me, but wasn't so loyal to me. So y'all pretty much had like a one-way friendship. Like you
Mhm.
were giving, 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 and she was just taking the entire time. Okay. This
Mhm.
I'm sorry about that. God will send you somebody else that you've been like you knew all your life. So just hold on. Your friend, another friend coming. If you ain't met her already, John said you confirmed it. We're just not friends. The conversation was had multiple times, but the result isn't changing. You just said it. We're not friends, and it's good to get it on the front end, baby. Don't drag it out. If you ain't got it this time and you understand it for what it is, move on. And that goes back to the you was here for a season and a reason, and not for a lifetime.
Mm.
So there's that.
Know the
And
seasons. Know your seasons. Know
know
your
your
seasons.
season.
Know your seasons.
And Miss Kim Wynn says true. Shout out to all of you guys in the comments. So, what did we learn today? class. No, I'm just joking.
We learn to have the conversations. Like so many things can be resolved by just having a conversation. Don't hold on to it. Don't let it fester.
Yeah.
Don't take it from here to there and just let it keep going and going and going. Have
Mm-hmm.
a conversation, the hard conversation. You might be surprised at some things that you hear and learn. Like life is too short to be mad and holding grudges against people and not talking to them for this one and their reason or whatever. Baby, live your life. Love while you can. Enjoy your life, your family, your friends, your foes. You got to love your foes too now.
So, dude, the Bible says,
The
bless
Bible says
them.
you got to love them. You ain't got to like them all the time, but you got to love them. So just, you know, do what God. What was the saying on the bracelet?
What
What
would
would
Jesus
Jesus
do?
do? What would Jesus do? Jesus would not be sitting up there mad, having a grudge at somebody because they're not doing something the way you want them to do it, or they should have done it. Just you know what, just love on them anyway. Just you know what, it's so good to see you this morning. I be looking at you like, what the world? Know that
Killing
you
with
don't like
kindness
them,
is a thing.
huh?
Killing with kindness is a thing.
Listen, I will speak to anybody. Walk in, good morning. How are you doing this morning? Be like, man, she know what I'm gonna speak. I am charged to speak because in order to be friends, you must show yourself friendly,
So
and then
do.
you got to treat everybody as
That's
Christ.
Bible.
You got to.
That's
You
Bible.
got
People
to.
don't know that.
You got to. So don't get caught slipping and being nasty and ugly because something happened. Just take it in, let it go and move on. So I told y'all I got the rule now. Whatever happens in this day, happens in this day. Once I
Mm-hmm.
lay down and say my prayers and release today and forgive me for anything I've done or said that wasn't pleasing to you or anybody else, God. But tomorrow is a new day. Don't
Mm-hmm.
take into tomorrow what happened today. Address it today, let it go, and move on.
So I put in the chat Matthew 5:44. And I want us to meditate on that for the rest of the day and this week. And it reads, but I say unto you, and this is Jesus talking, love your enemies, bless them that curse you,
And
do
pray
good to them that hate you, and pray for them
for the
that
use
despitefully
you.
use you.
Because you got
And
some users.
you got some users. Let me say it again. He said, but I say unto you, love your enemies,
Love them.
bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray
For them,
for
they
which
despitefully use you.
despitefully
Use you.
use you and persecute you. So the reason why I wanted to end it with there is, and even though I think says you might be the problem, sometimes we really are the problem, right? And sometimes we are valid and vindicated and feeling in our ways, but it is also how you react to. Because even if somebody step on my toe, I got two ways I can react. I can cuss them out, or I can say, oh, that's okay. Now, most people can feel like I'll be vindicated and cussing somebody out because they don't stepped on my toe and didn't say I was sorry, right? But then when Lord look at it, he gonna look at both of y'all. He's not gonna give you a pass because somebody did wrong to you. He's going to see how you're going to react in that moment. And in that moment, I want us to remember Matthews 5:44. There's no way that we can make it into heaven with unforgiveness in our heart. There's nowhere where God is going to sit up here and say, I'm going to let you slide because they did you wrong. There's nowhere for that in the Bible where it says that. It's nowhere. So I want us to consider all things across the board. Consider it across the board. And when somebody is using you, when somebody is being mean, do what the Bible says. That is the best thing we can do. Do what the Bible says, and we're going to bless them. We're going to pray for them. Okay, we're going to do good for them, even though they're giving us all the lies and deceit and they using us, we're going to do what the Bible say, because it's not our job to play God. We don't have to play God. God big enough all by himself. He don't need no help. Okay. And a lot of us want to play God. A lot of us want to go in and do the work for ourselves. And I'm going to get him because God taking too long. We ain't got to do that. Only thing we got to do is do what Matthew 5:44 said, which is we're going to pray for them. We're going to bless them. We're going to do good for them and all of those things. And I want us to take some time and look at ourselves and let's start the inventory. We could also be the problem. We're not perfect. We say things wrong. We do things wrong. We mess up a lot. But like I said, one of my favorite quotes is the biggest room in the world is the room of improvement. We always have a chance, especially when Lord wake us up, to do better and be better. I was waiting for my girl to come back. I guess her internet went out, but we're going to go ahead and end it here. I hope y'all enjoyed our conversation. If this blessed you, if you like the conversation, go ahead and do me a favor, do Dina a favor, go to the share thingy and share this out on Facebook, on Instagram. You can send this link to your friends through text message. So go ahead and send it out. And we thank you guys for tuning in with us on Tuesday. We'll be back next week to do it all over again. I'll see you guys and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye. Oh, wait, she came back. Let me see if she want to end out before we go. Okay, it's still not working. All right, you guys. Talk to y'all later.